Hello everybody, welcome back to the New Super Mario Marathon. I got it right that time. Today we're going to be talking about New Super Mario Bros. 2. I had no reason to buy this one. This one came out a little too soon after or during the New Super Mario Bros. Wii U. That was the game. This one right here came out almost around the same time, months after this one, so I opted to get Wii U instead. I don't want to pick up the box. I totally missed this one, and also I just didn't feel like there's any point in getting it. But also, let's talk about the name. This is New Super Mario Bros. 2. What's going on here? Nintendo, what's going on here? I technically get it because this game is a sequel to this game, but what about this one, right? Like, it's confusing to most people, I feel. So with that being said, is it worth being 2, or does it follow closer to this one? Or is it just Nintendo's being weird, and I don't know. I technically get it, but it's not part of this episode. This conversation isn't really part of this episode. We'll move on. So, the story of New Super Mario Bros. 2 is that Mario and Luigi decide to go on a flight in, I guess Princess Peach is watching while they collect coins. It's interesting because they're just minding their own business, and then the Koopa kids decide to capture Peach. That's it. That's the story. I don't know why they even bothered here. They could have just had a note, and I think that would have been a little more acceptable, but I mean, I guess it's to tell you that the Koopa kids are in this game. I don't know. I feel like Baby Bowser or Bowser Jr. capturing Peach and the cake was more creative. This one's just unprovoked. And I don't know. I don't know why it shouldn't bother me, but it's just like, oh, really? You went with that one? That's where you went? It's not bad. It's just I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like you could have been a little more creative. I don't know. With that being said, let's move on to the gameplay. So, in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I said that the idea of that game is improvement, and I said that the original DS game's idea is recreating the classics. If I had to say what New Super Mario Bros. 2 is, I feel like this one is more or less of recreating the idea of a high score. Throughout this whole game, collecting coins is kind of the thing. Right? There's power-ups around it. The score is on the screen, and so on and so forth. The idea is to get the highest score. And I appreciate that. Outside of that, there's not really much new when it comes to the game. There aren't really many new power-ups. Most of them are revolvent around gold. This one really kind of focuses on some of the returns. So in this one, you have the gold flower, which I don't think is utilized much. You have the gold box, which is gotten by hitting boxes multiple times, and eventually the box gets stuck on your head. And then there is the raccoon hat. I want to say Tanuki suit, but it's not the full suit. It allows you to fly, yada yada, you know what it is before. I feel like the return of it isn't anything special though, because we kind of were on a, like, Mario 3 trip at the time, especially since Mario 3D Land had that power-up. I feel like at the end of the day, the power-ups that are here, the one that I've used the most is the flying suit or the Tanuki suit, and I think that, I don't know, I feel like I wish it was a different one. You could have used the bunny cap from Mario Land too, you know? I feel like you could have used multiple different power-ups if you're gonna have one return, because after all, we have had the Tanuki suit return. And I don't know, I just feel like as big of a deal as the other power-ups were. You know, there's no Yoshi, there's not really much here. There is still mini-games, that's still a thing. The 1-ups allow you to have mini-games and so on and so forth, but, I don't know, it just isn't really anything special. The biggest reason why I say it's not special is because I feel like outside of the coin head power-up that's frequent, I just feel like there's not a lot of frequent use of the gold flower power-up. And the gold flower power-up's pretty cool because it's not just a fire flower, it explodes and has a radius that turns things into gold. I wish that the gold flowers used more, and I kind of wish that, I don't know, I wish that there was just a little bit more gold than there is in regular Mario games. I feel like there is definitely more, but I don't know, it feels like for a gold rushy type of game, they don't utilize it as much as they should. Another aspect of this game is, I remember complaining about Baby Bowser, right, and how he got boring to fight over and over again, and but the bosses were unique, right? I also remember talking about the Koopa kids and how it's unique to have them in there, but it's boring to fight them twice. So they kind of remedied this, and they do have a mini-boss. The mini-boss is Reznor, I believe his name is, and then you fight the Koopa Kids. The problem with this is it's just Reznor. It's just Reznor, nothing different about it. I mean, there is differences, but it really doesn't matter because beating him is the same way. And I feel like if you've never dealt with him, he might be challenging, and even then that can't be an honest take because he's not that hard to deal with. It's just very simple. You get under the box and you hit him, and it never got challenging. And I think that's what happens when you decide to use the same boss over and over again. And I think that sucks because you kind of did what I asked. You know, you gave me a mini boss, and then you gave me the Koopa Kids. Now, are the Koopa Kids fun to fight? I don't know. They're not really anything to write home about. Either they're a copy of their original fight, or from the Wii game, or they're just easy. I feel like they're very easy to handle. I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, this game does a lot right. It actually feels super great to play. I think it's one of the better games to play, but I feel like, you know, I don't know. I just feel like this game didn't do enough, and I know that there are secret worlds. Once again, I didn't do them. Just because, once again, I'm on a time limit, plus I just wasn't feeling it. If I'm going to be honest with you, if I wasn't doing this marathon, I probably would have for this one, because this game feels great, but, like, I'm kind of feeling it at this point, because, honestly, all the games are bleeding together here, because, like, it took me even a minute to kind of tell you what the story was. I'm happy that it is what it is, but it's not notable, and I feel like that's the problem, is that everything about this game isn't, like, super notable, but we'll get more into that in the presentation. So, in my opinion, this game looks great, but also, like, it also just kind of blends in with New Super Mario Wii, especially since they kind of copy and repeat aesthetics, which inevitably is going to happen, but I don't know. I feel like if I can say anything about this game outside of the look, because it looks good, and the interface itself looks clean, like, it looks super clean, but if I can say anything, is the music's a little, too much. Like, it feels like Nintendo, like, heard about that meme that TikTok did before, like, they knew about it, because there's a lot more womp womps and stuff in it. It feels like it's a lot louder in this game, you know what I mean? It just feels like it's more, and it comes off as a little bit annoying. But I don't know, it definitely makes it stand out, but like songs that are repeated are not 100% perfectly repeated. They have a little bit of difference to them. And that's all I really have to say. That's all that I've noticed. The presentation itself is fine. I don't know. I don't know. It just blends in too much with Wii. With that being said, let's talk about accessibility. Alright, so I'm gonna make this quick. You can get this game for about 14 to 20 bucks. It's nothing new when it comes to the new Super Mario franchise. It only came out for the 3DS, and yeah, that's about it. I don't really have anything else I want to say about it. It's about the right price. This game is definitely an improvement from Wii and DS. I mean, I prefer Wii, but this game definitely still slaps. I don't know, I feel like it's New Super Mario. There's not really much to sit here and talk about. I think that it's fun, but, like, it doesn't have any of the mini-games of the DS, and it doesn't have, like, the multiplayer, nor does it have as much to do as the Wii game, so I don't know. It's good, it's solid, I think it's... I don't know. I don't know. I think, I don't know. I think it's good. It's worth playing if you haven't played a New Super Mario game. And even if you have, like, if this is your, like, if you've only played 2, this is great. But, it just blurs with Wii. And, I think that, and I mean, I think that's what's great about it, is that all that's great about Wii is kind of here. Like, it's a scaled back Wii. That's about it. On to the bads. So I feel like the fact that we have a reusing boss sucks. I think that that's the worst thing about this game. Outside of that, I don't feel like they use the power-ups enough, especially the Fire Flower, the Golden Fire Flower. Like, yeah, you'll definitely come across the Golden Head a lot, especially since it comes to you, but I really wish that the Golden Fire Flower was there more. I don't know, I feel like the biggest thing is coming to this game after playing Wii and DS. I feel like it's kind of hard for me to say really what's bad about it, because there's nothing bad. It's just playing these games back to back like this, there's gonna be kind of a bleeding effect, because there is, right? I feel like even though the Koopa Kids are out of order, you know? I feel like, I don't know, I just can't really tell you anything about it. I could tell you that, like, Ludwig ends in the same place that he does in the Wii version. Characters kind of exist in the same place. Like, I remember Wendy's level has water, even though it's not 100% water, it's still kind of the same, and I think that that's the biggest issue, is that this game just kind of bleeds into Wii, which I guess is fine if you like it, but, like, I don't know, it just kind of bleeds all together, and I feel like that's the worst thing. I mean, again, you know, I mean, that's being over dramatic. I think the worst thing is the fact that they reuse the boss fight and don't really add any challenge. Outside of that, the game's solid. It's just, you know, yeah. On to the final thoughts. So, is Super Mario Bros. 2 worth playing today? The answer is... depends on how much you like this game, bro. I feel like at the end of the day, if you are somebody that skipped the first one and really liked Wii and you went, man, I want that portably, bada bing, bada boom, this is your baby. But if not, and you're somebody that's kind of saying the series is waning at this point and they need to chill, no. This game doesn't do too much new, and one of the biggest problems I've had with this one is that whenever the new Super Mario Bros. Games kind of solve a problem, they make a new problem by actually going backwards and going, ha-ha, let's just keep going the wrong way. I explain that more in the video, but I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like one of the biggest other problems with this game is that a lot of the power-ups feel underutilized. Problem being that I did not play this game to the fullest, meaning that I didn't play the special world or the secret worlds, but when you're doing a marathon and when the game is also just kind of okay, you don't want to do it. I might come back to these games once again to do those special worlds and kind of might see if it changes my opinion, probably won't, but I do think, all in all, is this game worth playing? The answer is... I want to say no, but if you're somebody that enjoys the franchise, you'll probably enjoy this one too. But even then, it kind of is defeated because this isn't the only portable one now, so... With that being said, I'll see you next time when I review New Super Mario Bros. Wii U. Not Luigi U, that's another episode.